In this video today, we're just going to take a look at the drawing session that I did the other day when I drew the Geodude Corsola fusion Coral Dude. Originally, I recorded commentary over the whole thing that I didn't end up using in the video. I kind of talked over it and sped it up instead. But I'll just show you the video this time if you guys want to get a little bit of a tutorial of how I drew that and what I was thinking when I was doing the design and how I use tools in Photoshop and deal with all the layers and stuff to get the look that I like. At the end of this video, I didn't do any commentary, so the last part will just be no commentary for the last few minutes. So anyway, you guys can get a look at what I was doing and thinking when I was making this Pokemon, and I hope you enjoy it. Recently, I was wanting to do another Pokemon fusion. Now, in the recent past, I did this Arcanine, Ampharos, Altaria fusion, and I asked on Twitter and in my Instagram story what would be a cool fusion of 2 or 3 Pokemon and why. Now, before I start this, I do want to give a shout out to my friend By9 Studio, who is very extremely good at this fusing Pokemon together. I mean, let's check some out real quick before I get started. We got Raichu, Flareon, Charizard, and Primeape here. That's a great one. We got this Leafeon, Absol, Paradox Pokemon here. Shout that one out. Snorlax, Teddy Ursa, another 10 out of 10 fusion. See, this is the kind of stuff I'm wanting to do. So By9 is some great inspiration. Let's do a couple more. Shuckle, Togepi, Doduo. See, this is the kind of stuff maybe you wouldn't think they'd be a good fusion, but once you've seen it drawn out by somebody who really knows how to make great designs, once you see it, it makes perfect sense. So this is the kind of thing I'm wanting to do. Parasect and Slowpoke, Slowbro, Slowking. Looks like Slowking. Yeah, this is great. I've got a few more. I'll save them for later. But yeah, someone on Twitter, Vikavolt and Clowitzer and Latios. Maybe I'll get around to that eventually. Today, this was a suggestion somebody in my Instagram stories, which I don't think I can look at on a browser. Unfortunately, from the way Instagram works, but somebody recommended to me, if I can find my stylus, Geodude Corsola fusion. Now, I think that makes perfect sense. So, that is going to be what I start with. And this video will probably be multiple drawing sessions. I'm just going to start with the Geodude Corsola. Let me see if I can pull that up. Instagram. So I'm in my other browser right now. Instagram story. What's my story look like? Seen by 146. That's not a lot. View insights. Okay, here we go. Nope. Okay, so to view it, I have to be looking on my phone. So let me do that. Let me pull up my phone right now. It did say that on the phone there. So that is what we're going to start with. Now, to me, that makes perfect sense. Let's look at these two Pokemon first, let me drag them into this other tab here. Geodude, we've got all this great art here. Corsola. Let me pull that up. Okay, we got Corsola as well. I love that Gen 2 art. So we're going to copy that. Copy image. That's a jump scare. What the fuck? You guys saw me click copy image, right? So that was from a video I just did. I was trying to make a thumbnail for it. I was being funny. I'm a funny guy. Doing a funny face there. I don't know why that came up. You guys saw me copy Corsola. Okay. So we're gonna do this. Corsola, make it a little bigger. We're gonna combine them into one layer. Make them like this big. Okay. All right. That is going to be what we're going to start with. So what I wanted to do was look at their types. Geodude is rock ground. Now obviously we could get rid of ground type or get rid of rock type. Corsola is rock water. I don't know why. I always thought Corsola was maybe water fairy, rock fairy, something like that. Maybe the pink. Is Corsola pink? Now, I am colorblind. I don't see red or blue very well, but I always assumed Corsola was pink. Now, this color range right here, that is showing me pink. So I'm going to assume my assumption was correct. I am wearing glasses that take the blue out for computer reasons. Computer reasons being blue screen causes eye strain. Anyway, so I'm going to start sketching out a Geodude Corsola type Pokemon. I'm going to try to be as good as Bind 9 Studio was because they are amazing. Watch me. I'm going to be just as good on this first attempt. Now, I usually don't record myself when I'm sketching because I'm really self-conscious about it. As you can imagine, if anyone out there like streams video games or anything like that, it's the same when you're playing a game and you're recording it. It's just worse somehow. I can't even remember what side the thumb goes on. So, okay, the other side. Got it. What is my eraser right now? It's a pencil size 1. So we want brush, and we want this other brush, not size 1. Oh, by the way, you guys, I got the clickiest keyboard lately. Listen to this. You hear that? That's so click. Oh, shit, what did I press? Oh, no. Okay, I think I'm fine. Turns out if you mash keys in Photoshop, bad things happen. Okay, so Corsola. My color went away. Okay. And I should say, right at this moment, I am doing this inconsiderate of evolutions. So I'm not considering Graveler. I'm not considering Golem. I think Corsola is an evolution. I think the original Corsola does not have an evolution, so I am just thinking about Geodude and Corsola, and that's it. Man, when I draw, I really like my head's like down here. It's so funny. You know, you're just like good posture, slouching, drawing. It's just how it is. I'm gonna try to sit up. By the way, whoever said Geodude and Corsola is a genius. That was Croptopkin on Instagram. Thank you, Croptopkin. Or Croptopkin or whatever. Now I know Corsola has little feet. Geodude has no feet. To do a compromise, I'm just going to do one little spike down there. My dog is being really pacey out in the living room. I wonder what he wants. Maybe he needs to go somewhere outside of the house. I think he's fine. Oh, I can hear him whipping a toy around. Maybe he's just bored. Again, I don't usually record myself sketching, so I know this is probably a little boring. I might edit a lot of it out. But I really like this concept of Corsola and Geodude. You know what? I think I have to let my dog out. So excuse me for one moment. I'm back. My dogs are good. So I realize that I'm pretty much just going with my first sketch here, which is probably a big no-no. Usually you want to have more than one sketch. And I just started drawing on the first one. So, what do you guys think? Should I make another sketch? Let me make another sketch just to see. Oh, let me try to think of what kind of a personality these two together would have. So we've got, whoops, we've got a little body here. I do want to keep the arms. What do we think about that? Is that a stupid pose? Am I taking this fusion too literal? I think at the moment I like this one better. Let's try a different one. Should I be considering Graveler? Should I be considering Golem? Let me look at some different angles for Corsola. Corsola, additional artwork here. Okay, we got Galarian. Okay, so Corsola does evolve into Cursola. Let's just look at this real quick. Yeah, that's just like a completely different Pokemon. I don't think we need to worry about that for now. Although, like 100 years ago, I did make a Geodude that was also kind of like a Ghastly. It was a rock that was like split open like a geode and a ghost was coming out of it. That might be kind of cool. That would be a cool three-way fusion. Cursola, Geodude, Ghastly. And like Haunter, Gengar, Graveler, Golem, Corsola, you know. But for the additional artwork, I'm not really seeing anything different. Just like this different angle here. And then obviously this is just the same angle, but it's like a different type. So let's go back. I like these fists here. And from the angle I've chosen, you don't really get that. You know what I'm saying? Is that right? No, that's a backwards hand. There we go. People say I'm a good artist, but I just do the hand backwards, so think about that. And then this hand, yeah. It's weird Geodude is a rock, but it's kind of like a soft rock, you know? Is this a better pose? I kind of think it is. Let's look at another Geodude art. That's not what I want. This is what I want. Okay. Let's see what else Geodude is doing. So I love this Geodude here. Hate this Geodude. These colors. When you simplify Geodude and you take the watercolor away, it looks too smooth. It looks gross. To me, this looks gross. And this one right here looks good. Hard to explain. This one looks okay. The oldest one. This though is perfect. This is just gross, man. Look at this. Ew. We say ew. Gross. Yuck. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, how do I connect the arm to its body? Do we think that's good? I think that's probably good. Okay, now let's look at this Geodude. It's got some like rock-like muscles, kind of. That's probably fine. Should I give it a little horn? Like, yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're gonna do that. I don't know if I want to give it bottom spikes. I kind of do. Yeah, I'll leave it for now. I'll leave it for now. I don't think anybody will confuse them for legs. I think they're pretty clear they're not legs. So let's leave them for now. Let me see if I can find a different Pokemon fist to reference. Okay, I wonder if we should get rid of this fist. And go with something like this, maybe? I don't know. I really do have the clickiest new keyboard, don't I? Okay, let's erase this. I don't like that either. That's kind of cool. Look at this. That's kind of cool. Oh, I shouldn't have erased that whole fist there. See, these knuckles here are the kind of thing that when you combine the two designs together, it creates something new. I don't necessarily love it, but it is a new thing, which is nice. I'm trying to make these fists really jagged because they're like a rock-like material, you know? We'll say coral, we'll say Geodude rock. And for reference for this fist, I've just kind of been looking at Machamp's fist here from its Gen 1 art. I like to try to stick pretty close to what Ken Sugimori did. You know, obviously straying away from that is totally okay, but I like to try to stay close. Does this look good enough? I feel like this doesn't look great. You know, let's get rid of the extra coral parts. The design doesn't really need it. I think this is good enough. Do we think this is good? Should I ask you some more questions? Third one? No. What do we think about that fist? This one. Well, let me just start inking it. We'll see how it turns out. If it turns out bad, it turns out bad. You know? That's just how it is. We will just finish it and we'll see how it is. All right. So we're gonna switch pens. Marnie size 20. Thank you to a Twitter user, I believe, named Midnight Sketch or something like that. I use their Pokemon-based brushes, Photoshop brushes. Okay, we're going to start from there. We're going to bump the smoothing up. 46 should be fine to start with. Now let me get... I'm just looking up the Geodude and Corsola art for my own reference here. 222 is Corsola. Did you open it? There it is. Geodude is what number? Type in chat if you know the number of Geodude. If you guessed 74, you are correct. Okay. Shit. Did I just move the whole thing? There we go. Okay. I'm going to look at the art for these two. Okay, Corsola's coral protrusions are a little rounder than I think what I drew, so I'm going to have to round them out a little bit as I draw them. Oops. Damn it. Come on. There we go. Okay, do I want to add any little lines here? Like, I don't know. I'll come back to that. Now, since this is going to be based off of Geodude and Corsola, there's going to be a lot of really, really easy straight lines, like geometric lines to do, not a lot of curves. So this will probably be pretty fast to ink it. Okay, are these eyes even? I think they are. Okay, I'm gonna make them a little different. Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think what I did just there is fine. You know, I think this is looking pretty good so far. Yeah, maybe I should draw the eye shine. Something like that? I'll leave these last two out. But yeah, I'll draw that for now. Think I'm fine just doing that. Okay. I don't like that. This looks kind of iffy. Let's take that out. We'll just do that. That's probably fine. Boy, there are some dogs howling outside. By howling, I mean barking like crazy, not actually howling. Howling would be cool. What do we think? Is that good enough? We think that's done? I think that's done. Maybe make this one a little bit longer. You know, I think that is pretty good. This up here, this looks a little chunky. Okay, I think that's fine. So now what I'm going to do is take that into Illustrator. Give it a second to load here. Very nice. Okay. New file. Blah, blah, blah. Hit OK. I'm going to paste it. Image trace. It's going to do whatever the default is. I'm going to click expand. Now, object ungroup. Click on one of the white pieces. Select same. Fill color. Now I'm going to delete all the white pieces. I'm going to highlight everything and group it. So now it's all together. I'm going to copy it 1 trillion times because it doesn't like to copy Illustrator. I'm going to hide my original line files and paste the new Illustrator lines in here. They're all nice and clean. Gonna go back into Illustrator, zoom in so we can see this as it happens. Gonna go to Effect, Distort, Roughen. I like to do 1 and 0.3 Absolute Smooth Preview. What it does is it roughens the lines a little bit. Those lines are looking good. Okay, copy that 1 million times. Paste it. Now what you will see is pasting it on top of the old lines, it'll just roughen them up a little bit, which is nice. Now I'm going to combine the 2 line layers here. So now we got 1 line layer with the old layer that I drew and the new Illustrator layer that is smooth. Now, for some reason, it comes in, it's not black. It's this weird gray. So we're going to make it black. We're just going to turn the layer black. Oh, you know what? I should probably save. Let me save real quick. Let me save. Shit. Oh, I should have paused that. Damn. Okay. I'm going to name this layer lines. Now what I'm going to do is create a... Oh, I'm missing a line there. That's okay. I will create a new layer. Lines copy. And I'll just... I'm fine with it missing the line there for the final drawing. Okay, so I just drew in my own line. Just for selecting reasons. Okay, now we're going to select inverse. Select, modify, contract. I usually do 2. So if you zoom in, you can see selecting right on the inside of that. So under the lines layer, I will create a new layer, fill it. I usually just call it body layer. Now. Oh boy, my neighbors, so we have kids living next door. They are screaming. Oh, okay. I'm going to pull up the Corsola image again. Did we remember what number Corsola is? Was it 200? It was not 200. Oh, what number was Corsola? 222. Okay, the Corsola coloring here is very nice. You know, let me just do this. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna move these guys down here. I'm just gonna move that there. Okay, so instead of drawing this cool pattern here, like Corsola has, with the belly, I'm just gonna have the belly be the lower jaw and everything else can be pink. So we're going to make the body pink. And now we're going to do a white layer. Like that. I'm just going to call it white. Then we'll do a black layer. Oh, get out of the way, dude. Pin. Now we are going to do a tongue, and that'll be the last layer. Since the body is pink, I'm going to make this tongue kind of orangish. Just so it's not the same as the body. Tongue is a fun word to spell. Whoops. Did I spell that right? Yes. I think so. It's a fun word, but sometimes you get it wrong. But I think that's right. Now, gonna dull that for a second. Okay. So the only colors we have are the pink and the orange. And we're gonna put these two texture layers on. This one will dull a bit. Okay, so that is maybe about right. Pokemon shading brush, again from, I believe, Midnight Sketch. On Twitter, on DeviantArt. Now I'm creating a couple layers here. I'm going to create a clipping mask so it only applies to the body layer. I'm going to do a shading, which I always call S, put that on multiply. And a highlight layer, which I always call H or H. If you're outside of the US and you speak English. Alright, now I'm going to bump that up to 100. I'm going to turn the eraser down a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to go off of this original Corsola. Oh, I've got to turn the smoothing down. When it comes to shading, I usually try to stick with Gen 2 shading. Use a Gen 2 Pokemon as a reference because the scans of the Gen 2 artwork are better and clearer. And the Generation 1 artwork is really blown out and really white. So the scans look kind of just like blown out, like probably not how you want them to look. Whereas Gen 2 has really nice art a lot of the time. Let me pull up for shading reference just to look at. I'm just pulling up a Gen 1 just to see what the shading looks like. Just for reference, not necessarily going to copy it, but just want to see what it looks like. Okay, where's that Geodude art? Let me pull this back over here. Oh yeah, that's kind of no good. I'm not going to use that. So, go back here. Do we think that's mostly good for this highlighting? I think it is. Okay, now let's go to shading. For shading, I usually stick with the same color that I used for the base layer, but on this S layer, I have it on multiply, which adds it to that layer, which makes it darker. So I'm just going to have a certain part of the art selected here. And a lot of times the Pokemon shading is it's not like this. It's a lot sharper like this. So I'm going to try to do that. Okay, that might be it for that. So let me select inverse just to be selecting the opposite of what I was just selecting. So I'm going to shade in this part. I think that's pretty much it. Okay, I'll add some shading to the white parts and to the tongue as well. I think I just tried to add some shading there. It didn't go very well. Or some highlights. So let me try some shading. Okay, let's say that's good for now. And is this about the same color? I think it's about the same. I don't see colors very well, but from what I'm seeing, I think it's about the same. So I'm going to add a little bit more highlight. Sometimes it's good to add highlight or shading around some edges, just where it makes one layer of the design pop out against a layer behind it or in front of it. It's always good to be clear about the layers. You don't want your image to like blend into itself to where like if you squint you can't really tell what's going on. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and start adding shading to the white layer. Now since it's white, we don't need to add a highlight layer, we're just gonna do shading. And you know what, I didn't mean for this to be a tutorial. This was just gonna be a quick Pokemon video, but it's also kind of a tutorial, so I think you guys are mostly okay with that. That actually might be good enough for a shading layer for the white. You know, let me do some more shading around the eyes. Oh, that's the eraser, dude. There we go. Okay. Okay, we can probably call that good. Nope. Okay, oh, tongue. Yeah, we need to do the tongue now. Tongue. We will do 2 layers for this. Clipping mask. S layer, H layer, S gets set to multiply. Okay, now we're going to copy the color. So I have a texture layer. I have 2 texture layers right here set to soft light. And that gives it the watercolor texture. You can see this is what it looks like without it. But the color palette we have set above the texture layer. So it's not... Oops. It's not affected by the texture layer. So these are the colors we want to be choosing. They are in Photoshop, they are above. I'll just write palette. I hope that's how you spell it. And then these 2 here are texture. So it's above the texture layers. If it's below, it changes to a different color. And that will lead to inaccurate and inconsistent painting, just so you know. So we're going to go to the tongue H layer, change it back to white, and we're going to do some highlights on the tongue area. I think we'll call that good, and then go to the S layer, go to the tongue color. We're just going to do something like that. I think that's fine. Okay, so we're mostly done. Corsola. Hard to tell there. Let me pull up the... Nope. Okay, it has a little touch of color here. So we're going to do that. I don't really know what color it is. But we will go into the black layer, create a clipping mask, which means it will only show up on the black layer. So now I'm just going to bump the opacity down. Like that. Okay. I just picked blue because blue is a good color to do on black. And I'm just using the smudge tool to blur this a little bit. And that might be good to do some more. So let's blur some highlights. Sometimes a little bit of blurring can make it, if there's like awkward lines, it can make it kind of more believable as watercolor. Let's go to the white shading. Okay, what do we think? Do we like it? This was just the first round of Pokemon Fusion videos. Man, could I slouch more? Can we get some more slouch? This was the first round of Pokemon Fusion. So I got this Corsola Geodude. Thanks again to, let me look up their name. Their name is Croptikin on Instagram. Croptikin, Geodude and Corsola. Thank you so much, Croptikin. Looking at this now, it might be a little too pink. I don't know what color coral is. If anybody has any suggestions about a color, a better color, leave that in the description below. But otherwise, I think I am good. Does my computer do... Let me check. Is my computer doing some kind of night light? Night light is off. Okay. I just can't tell. Anyway. We're gonna call that good for now. Maybe I'll put up a nice fancy screen right now so you guys can see the finished product. I don't know. We'll see. But that is my Corsola Geodude Fusion, thanks to Croptikin on Instagram. And alright, I will do more of these, but for now, I will see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.